Yeah.
Greetings and blessings to you, my family. Greetings and blessings to you. I come to you in the name of the Father, the Creator, the Most High God, my Lord, my Savior, Thoth Melchizedek. The purpose of this video is to highlight some of the scriptural text associated with God's laws on food and God's laws on health. To do this, I needed to go through and review all the scriptures in the Bible and other biblical books to get the fullness of the gospel. So this means that I am going to be looking in not just the KVG Bible, but also the Book of Enoch, the Mormon Bible, the sealed portion, and other biblical texts as well, to be able to put all of the information that I found regarding food and health, or according to God's laws and instructions, in one video. Just remember that in Ezra 2, which is also outside the Bible, it talks about that there were about 204 books that were written, but only some would be published as part of the Holy Bible, and others would be revealed later towards the end of time to the seeker of knowledge and wisdom. Also, if you look at in Daniel 12 verses 4 talks about telling Daniel, Father telling Daniel to shut up the word and seal the books even to the end of time, and only for them to be revealed when knowledge shall be increased. Even in the book of Enoch, it talks about that. So that's the reason why I am looking at these various books. If you go into Daniel, into Ezekiel 37 through 18, it also talks about to stick, which is basically combining the mainstream Bible that we all are aware of with other books that were hidden away until it was time for it to be released to people who are seeking truth and knowledge and wisdom. And this includes Joseph Smith's book, The Other Stick, which is referred to as the sealed portion. So the majority of this video is going to it's the videotape of the sealed portion. But we need to put all of these books together to get the fullness of the gospel. So that's why there's a lot of information in this video that is coming from the sealed portion and other biblical books as well. Enjoy this video.
Chapter 15. The header. The true reason behind the fall of Adam and Eve is revealed. The situation of the world at the time of their expulsion is explained. Adam and his posterity begin to spread throughout the world. 60. And the Father had given them instructions to eat of the fruit of all the land, and that they might do so for their health and strength. And they were instructed to cultivate the earth and raise the fruit of the tree and of the vine to eat, and also the roots of the plants that required the movement of that part of them that appeared above the ground to ensure the perpetuation of its species. 61. And Adam went forth and planted vineyards and fruit trees, taking with him some of the seeds that the Father had provided for him from the Garden of Eden. 62. For in the Garden of Eden the plants continually grew according to the command of the Father. And in the seeds of these plants God provided perpetual life for each species of plant. And these seeds would be the means of eternal life for each type of plant in its own environment. And some of these plants were specifically chosen by the Father to bring considerable joy to Adam and Eve as they ate them. And it was these plants that the Father instructed them to eat. 63. And there were many other plants that God had placed on the earth to provide food for other animals, but mostly to produce the atmosphere wherein life could exist. 64. And Adam and Eve were forbidden to eat the flesh of another animal, for their bodies were not built for this type of nourishment. And Adam and Eve knew nothing about cooking their food, because they did not need to cook food in the Garden of Eden, nor was it part of the plan of God. 65. For inside the food that they were commanded to eat, even the fruit that provided the seed of itself, and also those roots which needed to be pulled up in order to spread their seeds by the hand of an animal, even inside all of these were the necessary nourishment that Adam and Eve needed to keep themselves healthy and strong all the days of their probation. 66. And in the communities of the other animals, even those whose bodies were being possessed by Satan and his followers, they did eat the flesh of other animals, and they did cook their food. And when they did cook the food which they did eat, the heat from the fire destroyed those nutrients that God had established in the food to provide for the health and strength of the animal that would eat it. 67. And amongst these creatures, death did enter therein swiftly, and take their lives from the causes of the disease and pestilence that were created from the food that they had eaten. For fire destroyeth all things that it toucheth, and it is a process of destruction that was not taught unto Adam and Eve from the beginning. 41. For behold, ye do eat the flesh of beasts and of fowl, and of the fishes in the water, which example hath not been given unto you by our Father, but hath been given unto you by those beings whom ye have taken as your wives, and unto whom ye give your daughters, that they might bring forth children unto you. And these are not those of the children of our Father, who have the pure blood within them, but ye have corrupted this blood because of your unions with them. 42. And because ye do eat the flesh of the beast, and also the flesh of the fowls, and the flesh of the fish in the waters, ye have also corrupted and defiled your own bodies, which bodies were not intended to partake of such things. And even if ye were hungry, and forced by famine to eat the flesh of a creature, ye would not receive the nourishment that your bodies require to live in this joy of which thou speakest. For ye have caused the destructive force of fire to destroy the nutrients that the Father hath placed in the flesh of these animals, and also in the plants that these animals eat, to gain their nourishment. 43. And because ye have become used to the taste of seared fat and boiled plants and fruits, yea, because ye receive this joy from eating that which hath none of the natural nutrients that the Father hath provided therein to give our bodies health and strength, ye have caused that disease and pestilence should come upon you. And can ye call this an everlasting joy? 107. But Adam explained unto them concerning the wickedness and corruption of those among them who did not keep the commandments of God, and that these had caused many sorrows to enter in among them, and that if they allowed this wickedness to continue, that it would surely lead to their destruction. 108. And the children of Adam who followed him were not as many as those that followed after the order of Benelli and Cain. Nevertheless, these had the Spirit of God among them, and they had not defiled their bodies with the flesh of animals or with food that had been cooked. And these were strong men, and had much more stamina and vigor than those who followed Satan. 53. And ye cause this food to pass through fire in the procedures that ye have established among you for the cooking of your food. And ye have taken something wholesome, in which God hath provided all the nourishment that you need for your bodies, and have destroyed it with the heat of your fires. And why then do ye ask him to bless it, that it might nourish and strengthen you, after ye have changed that which he hath already blessed you? How can ye suppose that such hypocrisy and vain repetition of prayer are acceptable and justifiable before God? Chapter 88. 12. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a newsome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them who worshipped his image. 13. And now this noisome and grievous sore is the many diseases that ye have amongst you in the latter days. And these are the cause of the effects of the poor and unnatural foods that ye shall consume in that day. 14. And I have already related to you in this record the effects of cooked food, which cooking with heat kills the natural process by which these foods are assimilated by the order of the flesh. And because ye eat food and flesh that is cooked, ye have caused an imbalance in your flesh, which is the cause of many of your diseases in the latter days. 15. 18. Behold, even the food that ye eat that hath not passed through the heat of a fire and been destroyed, even these things have been contaminated by the unnatural attempts of men to get gain by providing these things unto you in abundance. 19. For in those days men shall obtain the knowledge of chemistry, as it shall be known among you, which shall aid them in their ability to use the natural elements which exist upon the earth to create concoctions and potions that shall kill the insects and the other animals that the Father hath placed in their own order to maintain a perfect balance of nature in all things. 20. And instead of working by the sweat of your brow to pull out the weeds that rise up in the crops that ye grow for yourselves, ye shall use these unnatural products of your chemistry to kill the weeds that grow among the plants that ye do eat as your food. 21. And do ye not realize that when these things are done unto nature, then its perfect balance is disrupted, and the consequences of this disruption is the cause of the sores that shall come upon you? 22. And ye shall die of all manner of effects from your poor diets, having been provided these diets by the beast that ye worship. 37. And at this time Enoch had established a city in the land of Canaan, in which lived the many generations of his children. 38. And they became an exceedingly righteous people, and they did not divide themselves into family units, nor did they have gold or silver or any fine things of the world among them. And they ate the fruit of the vine and of the ground, even those things that perpetuated themselves forever for their nourishment. And they ate no flesh, neither did they cook their food. Chapter 92. The header. During Adam's days there was righteousness and happiness without technology. Healthy living and exercise are essential for good health. During the millennium there will be no more death or the eating of flesh. At that time all will follow the laws of health provided in God's plan for his children. 13. Behold, I have explained unto you that the laws of health of the Father forbiddeth the cooking of food which destroyeth the natural order that hath been established for those things that were created to bring nourishment to our bodies. 14. And in the latter days most of the food that shall be consumed shall be those things which are processed by those who seek to get gain. And there shall be laws set up among you that shall require that any food that is sold unto you must be heated to kill those things which ye believe can cause sickness to the flesh. 15. Now, if the fire that ye apply to your food killeth those things which might be harmful unto you, according to your understanding, then do ye not suppose that those things which are most beneficial to you shall also be killed when this heat is applied? I say unto you that any food that passeth through the process of heat shall be no good for your bodies, and shall be the means and cause of all of your infirmities in the latter days. 16. And even those of you who shall choose to live in your youth without experiencing the effects of the natural aging process, yea, ye shall also die because of the disease and pestilence that shall come from cooking your food. 17. And in the latter days there shall be many people who shall be unhealthy and sick because of the food which they eat, And there shall be many others who shall be sick and afflicted because of the technology that ye have developed among you, that causeth you to become inactive and overweight because of the easiness of your lives, which Satan hath given unto you according to his plan. 29. And in the day of the Lord, the great power of the process that is used by the vegetation of the earth to maintain a healthy living environment shall be used by the Lord to heal the earth and provide fresh water and clean air and delicious and plentiful food for all the inhabitants of the earth. 30. And there shall be no need for fires or heat to cook food, for the natural state of all things shall be maintained for the health and enjoyment of all. 69. But Daniel, knowing the law of the Lord in all things, purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the meat of the king, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself with these things. 70. Now God had brought Daniel into favor and tender love with the prince of the eunuchs. And the prince of the eunuchs said unto Daniel, I fear my lord, the king, who hath appointed your meat and your drink, that ye might be nourished before him. For why should he see your faces worse looking than the children which are his princes, and not of your sort? If he seeth this in you, then shall ye make me endanger my head to the king. 71. Then said Daniel to Melzar, whom the prince of the eunuchs had set over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat, and water to drink. Then let our countenances be looked upon before thee, and compare them to the countenance of the children that eat of the portion of the meat of the king, and as thou seest, deal with thy servants. 72. So he consented to them in this matter, and proved them 10 days. And at the end of 10 days their countenances appeared fairer and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat the portion of the meat of the king, and who drank his wine. 73. Thus Melzar took away the portion of their meat, and the wine that they should drink, and gave them pulse. As for these 4 children, God gave them knowledge and skill in all learning and wisdom. And above them all, Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams, because he was called as a prophet of God. 74. Now at the end of Daniel could not have been a prophet if he did not understand the mysteries and the laws of God pertaining to all things. And he did understand these things. And for this reason he introduced the laws of health to the king and his house, that they might know the power of God which was in him. 77. And now the Lord is not so much concerned with that which ye consume to live, but he is more concerned with that which ye do with the life and the energy that ye receive from the food that ye eat. 78. Nevertheless, during the millennium, there shall be no more taking the life of an animal for its flesh, nor shall any be allowed to cook their food for nourishment of the bodies that shall be provided in those days for the children of men. End of chapter 92.
You never hear, you never hear, you never hear. I'll pray more.